Good evening, I'm Colm, and you're watching the Business and Enterprise Show, Ireland's only live web-based business TV programme with over 2 million views in over 200 countries. And we're coming to you live from our state-of-the-art studios in the Cavan Crystal Hotel, Dublin Road in Cavan. Now, there are many employments and jobs and businesses such as coopers, such as milliners, that have died for the simple reason that there was a lack of customers. But I suppose if you have a business and your main customer base are people with problems, then you'll always be in business. And that is the case of tonight's guest. My guest tonight is Patricia Sillard of Empowerment Within. So Patricia, you're very welcome to the programme.
Thank you, Colm, for having me here. I'm really excited about being here, talking to you.
You're welcome. I can tell by your accent that, as they'd say, you're not from around here.
I'm definitely not.
Where do you hail from?
I was brought up in Paris.
Very exotic.
Yes, very
place
exotic.
We all want to be there, but yet you ended up over here.
Yes, I did. Must have been because I like. Must have been because I like traveling, and as well, the French love the Irish. So
you decided to come out and try it out. Take us at our word. When did you come over?
Well, I came to Dublin when I was 25 years old. So it's going to be 19 years ago.
Oh, you didn't have to say that. Everyone is out there adding up on their fingers now. She doesn't look that. She only looks like a young one.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Colm.
And as I said, your business is Empowerment Within. First of all, what is Empowerment Within?
Okay. Well, Empowerment Within, it is who I am. It is who I am. It is what I want to convey, in life. What I want to portray in life. It's empowering. It's showing people how to get to a place of emotional fitness.
And people that would come to you and say, Patricia, I need help. What sort of problems would they have? It could go from suffering from an eating disorder or anxiety, depression. Sometimes it could also be needing to be helped with the loss of a loved one. So it could be for bereavement. It really depends. It depends. And where did you train in helping people with all these issues?
I studied psychotherapy in France, and then I came to Dublin. Worked for a while in business because I couldn't get a job, in what I wanted to do, in psychotherapy. And then I was trained, in eating disorder with a private clinic in Dublin. I was also trained in the UK. To use different energy techniques. So, and those energy techniques are part of energy psychology. So, in the UK, I was trained to use emotional freedom technique.
Emotional
freedom technique.
Emotional freedom technique. What's emotional freedom technique?
So,
sorry, I said that like a card. Not technique,
yes.
Technique. Emotional freedom technique. What is that?
You probably have heard about tapping. Tapping on different points.
Yes.
So emotional freedom.
Acupuncture without needles.
They often say it's acupuncture without needles. So this is what they say.
A poor man's acupuncture. They couldn't afford needles.
Yes. So the technique is the technique comes from the idea that we have a physical body, and we have an electromagnetic body. Electromagnetic body. So it's like an energy a body, made of energy.
That's not what those particularly religious among us would call a soul. This is a physical manifestation as well.
No,
electromagnetic body.
Yes, it's
electromagnetic.
It's coming from the Western world. They believe in the Western world work on meridians. The meridians will be.
Yep.
So it comes from the same idea. It comes from the idea that we are made of energy, and as we are made of energy, with emotional freedom technique, as we tap on specific meridians, and at the same time we voice the issue that we are looking to work on, we can lessen the intensity of the issue. It's like if you're going through anxiety, which I'm not saying that it's going to resolve the anxiety, but it's going to be a tool to help you to lessen the anxiety, because the anxiety is keeping you stuck in a place where you cannot where you're having difficulty to make decisions, where you're crippled with
panic attacks,
everything
like that. Yeah.
So with emotional freedom technique, what you do, you're going to learn the different points where you're going to be tapping. They're always the same points. It's always the same routine of points, and at the same time, you are going to name what you are going to want to lessen, and if you want to lessen the anxiety.
If you have an anxiety, are there different points in your body for different anxieties? If you have a fear of heights, is there one area that as you call tapping, that you can do? If you have the complete opposite, I suppose, the claustrophobia, fear of enclosed spaces, is that something different? From a tapping point of view?
Yes, it's different, because from a tapping point of view, what you're tapping on what you're looking to lessen. So it's not that there's one point that you're going to use to lessen the anxiety. What you're going to do is you're going to name the anxiety, and you will work on clearing unblocking. Okay, I'm going to simplify.
I love simple.
So anxiety, it's only one way. Anxiety. So if there's anxiety, you can no longer think clearly. You're going through panic. Your mind is completely blurred. So what you're looking for is to bring yourself to a place where you can relax. As in energy psychology, we look at thinking. We look at whatever you think, whatever creates anxiety is made of energy. As you're going through anxiety, what you're looking to do is to get to a point where you can think clearly again. So what you're going to be tapping into, you're going to tap into the anxiety, but you're going to look at what is the anxiety doing to me right now. Let's say the anxiety, stops you from thinking clearly. So you're going to tap into thinking clearly, so you can clear. You can clear.
So, in other words, when you're very anxious,
yes,
you're anxious about something. That causes your thinking to get muddled or clouded.
Yes.
And it's nearly a vicious circle. You can't think of how to get out of your anxiety, because your anxiety is stopping you from thinking of anything, including how to stop your anxiety. So what you try and do is stop the anxiety at source, so that you're clear. Your thinking is clear. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is just a layman's opinion. You stop your client's anxiety so that they can think clearer, and can then help themselves to stop what is causing them the anxiousness, and they it's a circle.
Yes, because the anxiety, you have to, it's a way you're going to use. Well, you are going to use a protocol with emotional freedom technique that is going to make it possible for you to get to a place where you can calm. Because when you're looking to calm yourself, when the anxiety is taking over, you can tell yourself, "Oh, I want to get rid of the anxiety. You get more agitated."
Yeah.
So that technique has been used in America for 20 years. It's been proven that it works very well. So it's used for anything that creates an issue that holds you back in life. I'm not saying that it's going to resolve the anxiety. It's going to make it possible, as you said, to learn to get to a point where you can calm down and you can take in techniques that can help you to manage the anxiety and manage and control the anxiety. So it's when you're looking to help people, you have to make sure that they can take in what you're going to be showing them. If they're in a state of being overwhelmed, being stuck in their mind with negative thinking, or they cannot take anything anymore because they are what we call emotionally hijacked. They're in a place where they're completely emotionally hijacked.
I see. Okay, we're going to take a short little break.
Okay.
And we'll be back in a moment and talking more about your business empowerment within.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan Town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our one wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic, you can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands.
And you're welcome back to the Business Enterprise Show, part 2. And we are still talking to Patricia Sillard of Empowerment Within. We spoke in the first half of the program, Patricia, I suppose generally about some of the issues. But I suppose one of the things that you do is you don't just look at a particular issue. You look at the holistic, the whole problem, the whole issue, the whole, as you could say, the whole person.
Yes.
How important is it looking at? One people would say looking at it holistically, or the other way is looking at the big picture. How important is it to take everything into consideration?
Well, it is really important to take everything into considerations if you want to create a state of, of balance. If you want to help a person to get to align, with himself or herself. If you only look at one aspect of the person, one aspect of the condition, it would create a situation where you're overlooking what is bringing the person to you. If you're looking at the person, and you're only looking, you're only looking to help the person on a mind level, but you're not looking to help the person on a spiritual level, on a physical level. Well, the mind level is not going to be enough. If you're dealing with somebody who's suffering from an eating disorder, let's say, if you're only looking at, I'm going to give you ways to manage your thinking, I'm going to give you ways to.
And if you were to give somebody ways of managing their thinking, well, I know it's hard to believe, but say I came to you with an eating disorder, how would you get me to change my thinking? What are the techniques you'd use for somebody like me who has an eating disorder? How would you help me? What specific techniques would you give me to use?
What I will do, is, to start with, as I said, I will create, a mind mapping of the situation to see what's
the mind map.
The mind map, as you said, it's from what you say, it's looking at, okay, is the person's lacking of sense of self? Is the person needs to work on their beliefs? If the person needs to work on the thinking styles, what I mean by thinking styles, we'll do jumping to conclusion, personalizing things, but people who are suffering from any type of condition, any distress, their thinking most of the time is taken to an extreme.
But if they have all these, what are the techniques that could be used?
The techniques that can be used to help the mind in that case would be cognitive behavior therapy.
And CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. Exactly what is that?
What cognitive behavior therapy?
In simple layman's.
Yes. No.
Don't be showing off all your credentials,
Okay. Cognitive behavior therapy, is about helping you to see that your feeling and your thinking and your behaving are very much
as one. Everything is connected.
So it helps you to assess your thinking, to understand how much of jumping to conclusion you are doing, how much of there's a list of unhelpful thinking styles that we do.
And we all do. We all think of the worst.
Yes, I mean, not only we all know. Let's say you're meeting your wife, and you're going to the cinema, and you're in a place in your mind where you're pretty balanced. There's you're pretty balanced. So you're meeting your wife. Your wife is late. You're going to think, okay, well, she's late. She could have been delayed in the traffic. You're going to put things into perspective. But something suffering from any distress is going to think, oh well, not surprising. She couldn't care. Maybe I'm not good enough for her. I wonder what I've done for her to be late. You're going to jump to conclusion that it's because of
it's something that it's not. And there's a statistic. I think I said that wrong. A statistic somewhere that 90% of the things that we worry about, that we think about in a negative, never happen. And I suppose that's exactly one of the situations. She's late, either she's not coming, or she's been knocked down, or whatever.
You will put into, you will be able to put, you won't think the worst.
Yeah.
You will put into, you will think, oh, it's something that's.
So you'll always think the worst. Now, how will CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, how will that break the cycle of thinking?
It breaks the cycle because it brings you to a point of awareness. As you learn what you learn that there's different type of thinking that you tend to do, and you learn how much you do it. You can catch yourself. CBT is about catching your thoughts, catching the way you think. As you catch the way you think, you can assess
and how much again, just going back onto the CBT, right? So we're thinking negatively, stupidly, whatever word we want to use it. Do we, by doing CBT, we realize, okay, what we're thinking is all negative and we shouldn't be thinking that way. But
we're going to help it.
How? But we can't help it. So how does CBT? What is the techniques that actually stop that negative or that foolish or that dangerous, you could call it, thinking?
It doesn't work like it's by you constantly catching your thoughts and assessing your thoughts and bring them into a place of changing your thinking, because you can now tell that you're taking your thinking too much to an extreme. So it's by being mindful. Yeah, it's by being mindful and by having the knowledge.
And I assume people come into your clinic and you do CBT with them and you go through, you're telling them to change their thinking and they change thinking, but then they go out, then they leave you after an hour and then they go home or they're waiting on the bus and the bus is late and the negative thinking starts again. Do they get, I know they're grown adults, but do they get homework?
Yes,
to
do
when they get at home?
Because it's not it's not about telling them what to do. I don't tell them what to do. I get them to see that there's something not working for them. I bring them to a point of awareness. If you say to somebody, this is what you have to do, well, the person's going to say, okay, I'll do it, but if it doesn't really speak to the person, even though the person might be aware, maybe I'm being too negative, but I can't help it. What I do give what I call reflection work. I would give, let's say if we're looking at the thinking, the thinking styles that she tend to do, I will give to the person a list of thinking styles that we will do.
What are some of the thinking styles? Or what is a thinking style?
A thinking style is defined by let's say catastrophizing is part of the thinking style. Jumping to conclusion, thinking all or nothing. A thinking style it's defines the way you think.
There's more ways to think than just negative and positive.
Yes.
And again, just going back to your clinic itself. In general, are your customers male, female? Are they younger, older? Or do you deal with people right across the board?
Yeah, I deal with people right across the board.
Yeah. And how do people come to you? Do people get referred from the GP?
Yes.
Is it from your marketing? People see what you do and they like you. How do people find you? How do they end up knocking on your door and saying, Patricia, please help me?
The way they find me, most of the time it's being referred by people who've worked with me, that've been clients that've seen
word of
me.
mouth and
Word of
everything,
mouth. As well, what I do when a client comes to me, I would present myself to the GP by sending a letter, by including as well a leaflet on my business card. So GPs are aware that I exist and they know what I do.
How do GPs react to what I could, I suppose, diplomatically called modern medicine, although it has been around for millions of years? Traditional doctors in the past haven't looked too favourably on holistic medicine.
Well, I think more and more GPs are becoming aware that there's so much they can do and that medication cannot solve everything. And I think my success and the fact that I've recovered loads of people shows as well that there's other ways to recover people. There's other ways to help people, and really, I do more than helping them. I show them ways to help themselves, because it's really about giving them the control, so they can do what it takes to get into a better place. So GPs, I think GPs can tell.
They see the results that you
not only my results. I think they are becoming more and more open to the idea that there's other techniques, other ways that they have to give.
Now, typically, somebody comes to you with problems. How many sessions would they need to do with you, and what can a session cost?
Okay, well, it will definitely depend on what they're coming for. If somebody is coming to just find ways and to be shown ways to manage thinking or emotion, or to do emotional fitness, it could be a couple sessions, because it's going to be about me giving them the techniques, just the ways, the tools to manage, and then getting them to practice. Because between sessions, I give reflection work.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of applying. You have to apply what you learn.
I'm just thinking that obviously a lot of people will come to you with issues of, we'll say, feeling negative about themselves, that they're not able to do things, and you give them, we'll call it homework, I call it homework, you gave it a much better name, I have to admit, but then when they go home, they either won't, don't, or can't do it. So they come back to you a week later, and I suppose the work that you've done the previous week has been negated by the fact that it's a bit like going to a gym one day a week and just eating McDonald's for the rest of the week and then go back to the gym on a Friday. The work you did the last Friday is gone. And exactly the same way, you give people, again, what I'm calling homework, they don't do it, and they arrive for the next session really no further on. So how do you encourage people to do the homework, do the work, I suppose the important work, the daily work at home?
It's not really an issue if they cannot do the homework or the reflection work, and I would always reassure them that if they can, obviously it's going to make their time with me shorter. If they cannot do the reflection work, then they can still, they just need to come back, and that's okay. We're going to work, we're going to do it together. Sometimes it's about being shown how to do it.
Yeah. Do you get people come to you saying, look, this isn't working, and then when you talk to them, they say, well, you're not doing the stuff at home?
Yes, I do get people saying that it's not working. And that
people go to their doctor, say, those tablets you gave me aren't working.
Yes.
That physiotherapy you sent me isn't working, So I suppose people kind of say these things. But the successes you've had proves that it does work.
And that's something that I would probably say to them. I would say, well, no, it works, but let's see at what's happening with you. Are you is there anything that you find difficult? What is it that you're finding difficult? It's about really looking at what is it that's not working for you.
Yeah.
If the technique that I use, because I use other techniques than CBT, obviously I use emotional freedom technique, metrics for imprinting. I will. Okay, let's look at using something else.
Yeah.
And see if it works better
Keep
for
going
you.
Until it works.
Yes, because I think it's important for them to give themselves the chance, to get into.
Yes,
to
and of course
place.
they're coming to you not for a quick cure. They're coming to you for you to help them to help themselves. Well, it's been great talking to you. Thank you for coming in. So you might tell everybody how they can contact you and where you are.
Okay, so I can be contacted on my website. I've got a contact form. So my website is www.empowermentwithin.ie. My phone number is 087 91 65742. I work from the Bodywise Clinic in Suffolk Street and Oscalt in Pembroke Road, Dublin 4. I work on Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays, and I do Skype sessions as well. That's the way you can contact me, and you're very welcome to send me an email if you want to know more about what I do. If you have any questions about what is on my website, I'd be very happy to get back to you with more information and to help you in any ways that I can.
Well, Patricia, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on to the program.
Thank you
for the help that you do with people that need your help.
Thank you.
So that's it for tonight's program. My guest, as I said, was Patricia Sillard of Empowerment Within. You've been watching the Business and Enterprise Show. I've been Colm. Good night. Talk again next week.
Thank you.